thingz.
What is up, Yuhp gang? It's your boy Taxon, and welcome back to the DBSCG Things. And today I gotta say, we got a very exciting deck to go over. We are going over a 2-1 second placing Cont-roly list from our locals this weekend. He actually rode table 1 from round 1 all the way to the finals, losing only to Icarus. So absolutely great battles with him. And if you guys are looking forward to see the undefeated Icarus profile, it was posted last week. Same deck was played, so I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go see Barber's first place, undefeated, over and over again, Icarus deck profile. But with that being said, guys, I do want to say, if you guys want any custom mats and or sleeves, absolutely check out ProMats, guys, the best place to go get your custom card needs. Link is in the description below for you guys to go check them out. And also on the screen now, you can see that they are holding a monthly tournament via Discord, second weekend of every single month. Very cool prizing here. We get some ProMat mats, we can win some TCG metal leaders, and also some booster boxes. So make sure if you guys want to join this, you use my link, go down to the Discord, join their Discord. Make sure you figure out some more stuff about this and enter if you really want to. And also really quickly, guys, I do want to talk about Dragonball Super Card Game Fest. We have 2 IRL events coming very, very quickly, and it's actually very exciting. So if you guys are looking forward to join one, I have some links in the description below for you guys to go register for these events. 2 are taking place, one in Texas and one in Florida. Texas going from March 19th through the 20th. Florida taking place 26th through the 27th. And also, guys, if you can't make it to the event or just can't fly out, can't afford it, whatever it is, if you guys are looking to watch it streamed, we have great commentators on Twitch doing that for us. We have Evan U7, Eggman, and the Crit God all streaming this for us. So if you aren't going to go to the event, make sure you go to that stream and show them some love. With that being said, guys, absolutely, if you like this deck profile, go to the subscription button, leave me a comment, leave a like, and hit the notification bell. With that being said, guys, let's turn this around and go over the deck. Alrighty, you guys, so here we are with this week's second place list, losing only to Yellow Icarus, piloted by this man, Barber. Unfortunately, I will not be uploading his list because it was uploaded last week. So if you want to see that, absolutely, I'll leave a link in the description below to his profile, posted last week. So go ahead and check that there. But here we are with Red Cont-roly, of what I like to call him. He is set 15 Broly. All right, man, go ahead, tell us about your deck and your matchups today.
Alright, well, the deck is pretty simple. When he swings, discard an extra card, draw 2, awakens at 3 or less. Permanents can be a little bit rough. You can only run Broly battle cards in here, keyword battle cards, so extra cards are pretty free, which unfortunately this is majorly what the deck is extra cards, but gets the job done, so really no complaints there. Awaken side, auto, swing, draw a card, and then if you have 7 or more extra cards in your drop area, you can activate a non-field activate battle from your drop area if their energy costs 3 or less. Really, really good, especially since it's free. There's some pretty bomb 3-cost extra cards made specifically for him. It's a lot of fun. Your leader does probably majority of the work, I would argue. So it's really good. So there's not really a lot of ways your opponent can deal with that. And then activate battle, not once per turn, I'd like to point out, which is really, really clutch. You can discard a red extra card and give him +5 for the battle. And it's specifically to the leader, but either way. And it's not turn-based either, so it's defensive or offensive, so really, really sweet.
Absolutely, awesome. I don't believe I caught the awakening skill. Did you go over that?
Awakening skill is just 3 or less.
3 or less, stand 1, draw 2.
Oh yeah, draw 2 and stand 1, yeah.
Very, very powerful.
The draw 2 is actually really, really nice, so really cool. So the build's pretty standard for what everyone else does. I haven't really done anything crazy. We got 4 of the big boys, 6 rock. All SPR'd out. Yep, Bear Hug Broly. I love this card. Love the art. It's great. Play him out. Got Deflect. Blue hates him. And then he can come out for 3 energy if you've got enough extra cards and drop, which you're going to get there. Very, very easy to do. I whipped him out turn 3 several times. Very easy to do. And then if you activate a extra card with either his leader skill from the drop or just paying an energy for it, you can discard another card. If it's another copy of him, draw 2 cards, -1 your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier by 35k, which is ridiculous. Really, really good.
It switches him to active mode.
Yes, and it also switches him to active mode.
So if you pitch any card, it switches him to active mode. If you pitch a copy of himself, it's going to switch to active mode and do all the extra text that he just said.
Yep. So really, really clutch, really, really good.
Big, big boss monster. And he's at 35k, so that's going to be important coming in later.
Yep. Pardon my speech. I've only played this deck like 4 times, so the fact that I even got this far with it.
You piloted it well for being so unexperienced with it.
I feel like I vibe with red. It's probably my favorite color in the whole game. But anyway, even though I've been playing blue a lot. Anyway, got 3 of Crown. Card pretty well speaks for itself. opponent's got 2 energy up, so your control matchups, rip a card out, see what your opponent's got, see what you can do, plan your turn around that. Not really a whole lot to explain here. Really,
and
really
it's a
good.
Broly, so it's one of the only cards you can play in the deck.
That too. And then for the battle cards, playable battle cards, not including super combos, we've got the 4-drop, which I've only got 2 of at the moment because there's only a handful of situations I actually use them. He's mostly a Unison killer for your 15k or cost Unisons. When he whips out and he swings, he can minus something 15k battle card, or I'm sorry, 10k for a battle card, and then 15k for a Unison when he swings at it. So really, really good. So instant marker removal for when he swings, and then if the attack goes through, that's 2 markers. So inherent double strike on Unison is really, really good. And then the way he comes out, activate an extra card, again from either leader skill or from just paying for 1, he comes up for 1 energy. So not a whole lot of cost, and he puts in a lot of work in certain matchups.
Very good card.
And then
Also,
super
one of the only Broly cards you can play in the deck.
that I'm keeping with only a Broly card in theme. Super combo has to be the Broly.
The only option for the deck.
Yep, literally the only option for a deck. He's a sparking super combo, so he fits the deck really, really well. He's just a standard draw 1, but he's really, really nice. But he kind of has to be because he's literally the only super combo in the entire game you can run. So, but whatever, it is what it is. Going over to Unisons, we got the Unison that the deck wants to play. Broly Unison, really, really
I want
nice.
to pray this Unison. Almighty, holy Unison. Everyone get on your knees and bow.
I mean, he's good. He puts in a lot of work. He does a lot of crazy things. So gains double strike if you got 3 or more red extra cards in your drop, which no problem.
Does.
Yep, you're gonna have that, no problem. Turn 2, I can usually get that play out, which is really, really good. So when you play him, if I do play him turn 2, which usually I do, having that double strike live is really, really nice. Makes him kind of a threat. Nice Unison killer. +1 skill, you can search top 5, grab and activate battle, energy cost 3 or less, add it to hand. This deck is full of them, so I almost never miss. Really, really good to have. His -2 is probably my favorite thing about this Unison. When a battle card attacks, you can -2 and neg it by 3k for each extra card in your drop. Obviously, you're going to have a ton of them in drop, so you're talking about some pretty big minuses. In my first matchup, I actually got to use this skill against a big foo.
I snuck to the side table and actually watched it as it happened. He was swinging with a big overarm foo, which I think it was a tap 4 one. He warps when he wanted to use a skill or something like that. And you -2 on this thing and killed it in 1 action the moment he swung, which was huge. Did not have to deal with that triple attack.
Nope. It is a obnoxious skill. I love it. I'm all here for it. So over to extra cards. Pretty standard. Demonic playtime.
Demonic gay time.
Basically.
I'll give my leader double penetration and draw a card.
Yep. And then if you combo with another card, potential crit. My second favorite turn 2 play outside of this one. If I don't see him, this is my go-to. Gives +10 in double and draws a card. What more do you want? Does a lot of work. And it's a card that, of course, that can be activated from drop, so it activates twice, effectively. Pay for it once early game, and then once he's awoken, you do it again later game.
Absolutely.
If they have crit, even more.
And that's the one that you want to activate second, because this one doesn't have a restriction on what power
Nope.
your leader needs to be.
No, that is very important. Forgive the rarity split. I have 2 more shinies of these. I just wasn't able to find them. But this is the card you want to combo with. If your leader is currently, when you activate this card, at 15k or less, it gives a crit. So you activate first, and then you activate this, and it is literally 20 double crit, which is mean.
Huge.
Yeah, just mean. Not much to explain there. Really, really good. Another really, really good card you can play later on with leader skill.
It's also a great card to choose as your option for your drop area extra card, because your leader swings, its auto goes off, you draw a card, you activate this, you tap 1, use this, you draw a card, and you've never lost a card from hand, and you're a big crit double strike.
Yep. So pretty mean. Nasty combo. Standard for Red Saiyans. I might just drop this down to a 2, excuse me, only because usually I only need to see 1, and this deck is really, really good at cycling through. So haven't fully decided yet, but this might get dropped down to a 2 of. It's really, really good late game when you're dropping the big 6 drop. You gotta protect it. especially against that Heroine Secret Rare, which I have taken L's for because I didn't give it barrier first. Pretty big life lesson there.
There's
but
tons of things that this will protect it from.
Yep.
But if you're versing blue-yellow, it won't help because Kefla still fucks that card.
Still does, but any other matchup, it's still worth having in there.
Shout out Justin Rios in the top tables with Blue Yellow Icarus right now.
He's playing blue-yellow.
Playing Blue Yellow. And GX is the opponent.
So Self-Awaken card, really good. Usually my number 1 pitch card if I got it. Although he does have a nice little activate battle, you can give one of your cards +5 if it comes down to it, which I use occasionally. But main reason why I run it, activate main if he's in the drop area, limit, burst 1 card, you can warp this card and take a life. So in those control matchups, if your opponent's not awakening you, you can just do it yourself. Really, really nice. So that's why I keep it at a 4 of, just because Self-Awaken is very, very prevalent with a leader that does not self-awaken himself and awakens solo. So that is
dude, that's a 0 cost. That means you can activate this for free turn 1, turning your Unison's double strike on immediately.
Oh, Dylan Warren's in the top.
That is true. That is true.
Swing turn 1 with this, you get an extra card in the drop area.
Yes, sir.
Turn 2, you play the Unison, you swing with this again, that's 2 cards in the drop area. You activate this, that's 3. Your Unison's officially a double strike.
If you can't tell, he's a big fan of this deck.
I mean, I love this deck, man. I've played it a lot.
All right, so nice little tech, I guess. I've seen some other people playing it, but I mean, plays Self-Awaken. It's also really, really nice for topos and boopos, as they call them. Also kind of nice for your other obnoxious cards.
A lot of things, because a lot of things are 20k or less.
Yep, really, really good. I didn't get a chance to use it in my Icarus matchup, unfortunately, but it's part of the reason why I run it is for that slug, because they try to play that slug. This gets rid of it. So they fight to the booster cycle.
I watched you actually stop the big Toa play with this card in your Toa matchup, so you didn't have to actually deal with the big 7-drop Mura that stopped it before it even got to the 7-drop. This was a very, very clutch card.
Very, very much so. It definitely comes in handy in some special situations, which is why it's only a 2 of.
Yeah, absolutely. Not to mention you do have to have a Unison in play, so it is kind of tricky to make it always live.
Yeah, that could be a bit tough too, but I mean, at the end of the day, it still comes in handy. And I protect my Unison pretty well.
Says stop riposte.
So pretty standard if you're running red Unison, flood negate-ish. Can play for free once you're at 3 or less life, which I mean that's his awaken con, so I'm gonna get there one way or another. So it's a good 3 of. It's a good
I think I've run it at 2. I found this card dead in my hand most of the time.
It can be dead in your hand, but even if it ends up dead in your hand early game, if you can't really use it, he's a discard card, and he's an extra card.
It is clutch though if you run the Unending Awakening. I run that negate that gives you 5k, so if you use this and your leader's already at base 20k, it basically stops it.
Yep. So really, really good. So speaking of that very card, I run it a 3 of.
Hey, look at that. I was just talking about this card.
Yep. Good card. Comes in handy a lot. Especially if your opponent's got a whiteboard at 15Ks, this pretty much shuts their turn down. So, and like he just said, comes in a really nice conjunction. So, pretty well stops your opponent from doing whatever it is they were trying to do. Literally shuts down good amount of turns, but very clutch for a very, very old card.
Absolutely, that card came in very clutch in your Majin Vegeta matchup.
It sure did. Rip.
It's all good though.
Pretty
good. Best card in the deck.
I might push this up to a 4 of. I haven't decided yet, but it can be a little bit of a dead card in some situations, but it comes in real handy. Gives your opponent a nice boost. If your leader card's a Broly card, it gets reduced, which is what half the cards do. But activate main. You can either give your opponent a big boost. He'll get a total of, I think, 25k if you can get all the skills for the turn, or you can choose your opponent's battle cards that go up to 30k and just get rid of all of them, which another card you can play for free from drop. So I mean, it's board removal or big boost, and you can play it defensively for the boost.
That boost is huge.
It is. It really is. It actually saved me in
When I
the
first
matchups.
was testing this card, I was primarily only using it for the board removal until I was getting pushed, and I actually figured out how clutch that plus 15 is.
So there's a chance it'll go up to 4 for that reason, just the versatility.
Absolutely.
So this card's definitely going to go down, but it comes in handy in some situations. It's a negate. It's a limit 1, which kind of sucks, which is part of the reason why it's probably going to go down to 3, because I can't use it twice in a turn, which kind of sucks. But the one time you do use it, it's kind of nice. It negates the attack, and then you can neg one of your opponent's battle cards by 10k. can come in handy in some situations. Then activate battle, it's just a 1k or for 1 cost to one of your any of your cards, so leader or battle card, which comes in handy. So, but still, it's going to go down to 3.
Shout out to the boy Taxon for calling that limit 1 during our finals.
Absolutely.
It would have made 0 difference, unfortunately. So we got the promo. I keep it at 3. I don't think it's going to change much. Versatility. You can search your super combos with it. You can search your crowns with it, and then you can search the 1 4-drop that I run or the 2 4-drops that I run. So it's got enough search targets, I think, but I think more often than not I use it for its -10. Comes in handy because it can hit anything. You can hit leader too.
Very strong. That is very, very good. Opponent's cards, guys. So like, there's not very many, but if there's a Unison that you're versing that has less than 10k power or 10k power exactly, this is gonna knock a marker.
Yep. Also really, really good against your leader. If you've got the secret rare out, that actually came up in my Toa matchup. I got my leader down to 0 power. Nasty, mean. And then big surprise, big boy.
Big boy Burley.
2 games I won because of him.
Yes, sir.
He is evil. Does not matter how many cards your opponent has in hand. If it's mostly 5Ks, they are dead. They are completely and utterly dead.
Until they get final flashed.
Until they get final flashed. But in any case, it is.
Rolly.
And then we'll rest it and play Taylorless and KO it.
But yeah, no, it's a handy card in every other situation.
I was playing Majin today, and I could not do nothing the moment this card came in play.
Yep.
I went in turn 3, tapped myself out, thinking I was gonna do some fancy stuff. You went in turn 3, tapped yourself out, and it ended with this, and that's just better than what I end on. So that's just how that went.
Yep. It is what it is. Card speaks for itself. It can only be ran in a select few decks, but the few decks that can run it, you run it.
Yeah, but when you swing with it, I got the super combo 5k and draw 2, and do nothing else after that and lose.
It's a
That
mean
card's
card.
bad though. Don't play it.
It's a
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
card.
it's terrible. Don't ever run this card.
Don't
Alrighty,
play
man. Do you want to go over your matchups?
First matchup was Toa. I'm sure he'll stream it, but yeah, at the end of the day, it was kind of clutch. He did have me nervous for a minute. He got my hand down a little bit, but I was able to keep going. And again, I only won because of this. Only because of this. I mean, once I pulled him out, it was game over. And obviously the extra card mentioned earlier, as it was mentioned previously, just the stopping power of, what was it, a Bad Omen, I think it's called, was the main reason why I won. Or Omen of Awakening, sorry. But I mean, I was able to stop his big play and then go in for game. Yep. So I mean, enough said there. Second match was Majin Vegeta, played by holder of the camera. He played Majin Vegeta, pretty standard. We both misplayed in the game, which arguably could have turned it either way. But I mean, he was doing Majin Vegeta things, turn 3, going in. I was sitting with negates in hand and praying he couldn't put on any more pressure. Thankfully, he couldn't. And then literally same thing as he just said, turn 3. Pulled out double Broly, pulled out this, went for game, and it worked out. And it worked out, but that was really, really close. That was definitely if I didn't win that turn, he was clobbering me next turn, and that was it. That was it.
You know, this card followed up after that 6-drop is pretty goddamn devastating. If that 6-drop doesn't get messed with, that's 235 double strikes you're taking to the face or comboing out of. And then you're going to have to deal with this right behind it.
Yep.
We got another one.
And then your leader is more than likely going to be a double strike crit that turn as well.
Possibly, yeah, but the biggest advantage is if this doesn't work, your leader is now a 25k until the end of the following turn. So it's also defense. So even if this doesn't get the kill, you're still holding up pretty good. So I mean, it's a double win. Then my match against Icarus was about the same as every other match with Icarus. I didn't see him at all, so unfortunately that was going to be my main strat. Was going to go for the double Broly in this. Yeah, I know. But unfortunately, it was my only potential out. He got the slug out, and once the slug's out, my leader skill thankfully isn't affected, but everything else, like my encounters, my super combos, everything else was shut down. So unfortunately, I couldn't.
Everything. That Unison turns into a top 5. Look at him and shuffle.
Yeah,
And he
basically.
did that.
I did do
Look at
that.
him.
He
Just
did
for
do
mark.
that. He's
Yep.
like, I'm gonna do this just to look.
Yep. Just to verify some cards. So that's
Alrighty,
all you can
man.
do.
So there's your matchups for us. So you got any final shout-outs?
Shout out to Attack on Productions. I think you give us most of the motivation to do this, be on stream, the whole 9 yards. I don't think I would do it without you guys. You guys make it look fun and easy somehow. And we love what you do, and you encourage the rest of us to play jank instead of meta.
It's Yuhp gang.
Absolutely,
It
guys.
really is.
Shout out Attack on Production, guys. Absolutely. I'll leave a link in the description below. Go make sure you guys leave them a subscribe. Go watch some of their videos. They do a phenomenal job with their content. And with that being said, guys, this is the deck for this week. This was second place. If you guys like this profile or my content in general, absolutely consider hitting that button, subscribe, like, comment, and bell. Yep, we'll see you next week.